Okay, you're welcome to Mass Medicine with Francis. This is season 8. We'll be meeting a very special topic, simultaneous linear equation. You know that simultaneous linear equation have two ways of solving them. Number one, we have the first method known as the method of elimination. And we have the second method known as the method of substitution. So you can either go for the method of elimination or the method of substitution depending on the question which you are given. You understand? But for the sake of this particular lesson today, I will say let us only solve the method of elimination, but because some of the community which we are building, they would like to see the both of them. So on this episode 8 with Mass Medicine with Francis, we are going to do justice to the both of them to enable the community which we are growing to keep on worsening. So now, assuming that you are given a question and you're asked to solve it with a method of elimination and substitution, but we are going to be using elimination first. Assuming that the question states, say, solve the equation. Solve the equations because it's always 2. 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. And 5x minus 3y equal to 1. And you're asked to solve this equation now using elimination method. How do you cope with solving this? So this is what we're going to do. You remember that in this first stage, we'll be using a method of elimination to solve first, right? Now, in this method of elimination, which we're going to be using now, you will see how we are going to do this so that you understand very clear and you won't need any other person to make you understand outside of this community. Now, what do you do now? For the fact that is the elimination method, elimination means that there will be some cancellation on the way. But substitution means you are going to keep on substituting, you are going to be removing things and adding different things all together. But let's finish with elimination. Now that we are seeing that what we have is 3x plus 2y is equal to 12 and 5x minus 3y is equal to 1, right? Now, you think of what are the numbers which you are going to use. Remember that this is already an equation 1 and this is an equation 2, right? So if I call this my equation 1 and equation 2, what do I use to multiply equation 1 and then use a different thing also to multiply equation 2 to make either these two set of numbers to be equal or either these two set of numbers to be equal? I have no business with these two outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now I can choose to say, let me multiply equation 1. Equation 1. Let's multiply equation 1 with 3 and multiply equation 2 with 2. You will see what is going, the changes is going to bring. If I'm multiplying equation 1, all of this with 3, it means 3 times 3x will give us 9x plus 3 times 2y will give us 6y is equal to 3 times 12, which is 36. Now, this will become our equation 3. Then again, 2 multiply 5x will give us 10x minus 2 multiply 3y will give us 6y. 2 multiply 1 will give us 2. Now, this is known as equation 4. But meanwhile, I want you to understand that at this point that I've gotten, if someone asks perhaps, how do I know that is 3 that I'm to use to multiply this or that I'm to use 2? When you look at these numbers, you're seeing that this is 3x and this is 5x. Assuming that I want to make this first set of numbers, you can always know it like this, that this is the first set of numbers. You can call this the A, this is the B, and this is the C. If I've chosen to multiply the A's, if I wish to eliminate the A's, I would have said, let me multiply equation 1 with 5 and multiply equation 2 with 3. So that I will be having 15x and 15x here. Then I will now use the sign between them to cancel them. Do you understand this? But for the fact that these numbers are more closely related to each other, and using 3 and 2 will make these two numbers, the part B of this, to be equal. Then the only thing now that will help me to eliminate them will be their signs, or the signs which I'm going to introduce. It's not about making something equal, just like we've made this and this equal. Now the signs are not the same. So what do you do here? As you've gotten to this point, you will see that 9x plus 6y is equal to, we call this equation 3 now, and we call this equation 4, right? Now, what do I do here? I will simply say that for me to eliminate these two, if I should introduce a negative sign, remember that it will be here, it will be here, and it will be here. Now, the negative side for this, the effect of it is going to be that we'll be having plus 6y minus 6y, which will end up giving us plus 6y. When minus multiplies minus, we'll be having plus 6y. So we'll be having 12y, meaning that there will be nothing to cancel. But if I should introduce on the both sides, I should introduce a positive sign, plus here, and plus here. You remember that what you do to this left, you will do it to this right. If I'm to choose, it's not when I choose that I'm going to introduce a positive sign for all of them. I will choose a positive sign here, choose a negative sign here, and choose a negative. No. Whatever you do to each of these, remember that these are our A's, these are our B's, and these are our C's. The constants, they are always just without alphabets. But the A and B, they are always with alphabets. I hope this is clear. Always remember this. Have it at the back of your mind for reference purposes. Now that I'm here now, and I've successfully gotten the sign to use, which is the positive, right? So 9x plus 10x will be 19x. Then plus 6y plus minus 6y. What does that mean? It means plus 6y plus minus 6y. Plus times minus will give us minus. So plus 6y minus 6y will cancel each other. They will eliminate, which means that this one will go off. Then I'll be having 36 plus 2, which is what? 38. Then at this point, what do? I'll divide the both sides by the coefficient of x, which is what? 19 and 19. So the value of x is what? 2. Now that I've gotten 2, it doesn't end here yet. So what do I proceed with? I will now say that because my x is equal to 2, then I can choose. You remember our equation 1 is 3x plus 2y equal to 12. And our equation 2 is 5x minus 3y equal to 1, right? So I can simply say I can simply say 3x plus 12y is equal to 12. So I am going to substitute 2 for x in this equation. You remember that this used to be our equation 1, right? So any place I see x, I will remove it and put 2. So it becomes that 3 brackets 2 plus 2y is equal to 12. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2y is equal to 12. Then I'll collect the like terms. 2y is equal to 12. When 6 crosses an equality sign, it becomes negative. So 2y is equal to 6. Therefore, y is equal to what? 3. This is solving elimination. Okay, now let's now go on to solve the same question using substitution. Okay, the same question again. We say that we'll use substitution method to still solve it. Then how do we use substitution to solve this question now? Now, just as you're seeing this, you remember that this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, right? So I can choose to start with equation 1. I can as well use to start with equation 2, depending on how ready that I am. So let's use equation 1 to solve equation 2, right? And equation 1 says that 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. So I can as well decide to make my 2y the solving formula by saying, or I can make 3x any of them that I wish to. So I can simply say that 3x is equal to 12. So I'll be making x the solving formula now. So I'll be having this comes over here minus 2y. What this means is that any place that I see x, but because what I'm trying to make the solving formula is not 3x, is x. So I will divide both sides with the coefficient of x, which is 3. So 3 cancel this. So I'm having left x is equal to 12 minus 2y over 3. So now, any place I see x in equation 2, I will now substitute for this. So what this means is that I'll be having 5 brackets 12 minus 2y over 3 minus 3y is equal to 1. So because from what I am having here, nothing can cancel. So I can easily just use what is outside of the bracket to multiply through by saying now 5 times 12, 60, and 5 times 2y, 10y over 3 minus 3y is equal to 1. Okay, so at this particular point in time now, we are to clear the fraction with the LCM. So in clearing the fraction now, we'll use the LCM of this equation to clear through. So what is the LCM of this equation? 3. So I will use 3 to multiply through all. Remember that this is over 1, this is over 1, right? So 3 to the bracket of 60 minus 10y all over 3 minus 3. Again, I'm using 3 to multiply 3y. And finally, I'm using 3 to multiply 1, right? So 3 will cancel this 3. Then I'm left with 60 minus 10y minus 3 times 3y will give us 9y is equal to 3 times 1, 3. So now I will collect the like terms to find the value of y. Okay, so the next is from where we stopped, 60 minus 19y is equal to 3, right? So 60, okay, sorry for that, minus 19y is equal to 3 minus 60, right? Which is going to be minus 19y is equal to minus 57, dividing the both sides by the coefficient of y, which is minus 19 and minus 19. Then the value of y is going to be equal to 3. Meaning that now that the value of x is equal to 2 and the value of y is equal to 3. Try to invite your friends to join the community as we just keep on growing very fast. Turn up your notification bells and subscribe for more. Watch out for the next season, which is going to be season 9. So thank you.